Now, when my kids were young, there wasn't, there's not a lot of anything too traumatic that happens. They're under your feet, and you may think that it's chaos, but there aren't any big issues. It's after they get a little older that things really start to get hard. Now, when he got to junior high, before I realized what had happened, I found out he was on drugs. I was devastated. How could this happen? How could all this happen and get this far without me knowing it? Tried several things. Public schools, private schools, counseling, rehab. He would run away from home and we'd bring him back. Run away from home, we'd bring him back. One night I got a call. Well, before the call came, I was crying and praying, as I did a lot at those days, but I was crying, I was praying, and I was having a one-sided conversation with God. And I was like, God, do not put anything else on me. I've had it. I've just had it, and I can't take any more. I got a call about 2 in the morning. It was from a hospital in Colorado asking for permission to treat because he had taken an overdose. Now, my oldest daughter, she's completely opposite. She was full of self-esteem, and she did good in school. She had no problem. She was willing to fight her little brothers, her big brothers, actually, battles anytime he wanted her to. Just bring them on. She was always ready for a fight. And she did very well until the 6th grade. And in the 6th grade, she came to me one time, and she was trying to tell me that her dad had sexually abused her. And so she's in junior high, he's in high school. I'm getting calls 2 or 3 times a week regarding one or the other. Let me tell you, ladies, those were the days, those were the years where I experienced spiritual growth, because I knew God was the only person I could depend on. You see, we had a very dysfunctional home life. It was very chaotic. Not a lot of love and warm feelings in our house. I was going to ladies' Bible studies. I would go to retreats and conferences. I signed up for every discipleship class that was offered because I had to constantly feel myself knowing that that was the only way I was going to get through these years. Many times I turned to Philippians chapter 4. That is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible because it's called the joy chapter. And it would bring me comfort. I would read, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And my God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory. And you see, I needed that fulfillment just because I knew, for one reason, like I said, he was the only one I could depend on. My soapbox, if I was going to have a soapbox to stand on, what I'm passionate about is encouraging moms to spend time with their kids. Because you see, I didn't spend time with my kids. I was busy. I told you what a typical day was in our house. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. I never sat down and watched a movie with them. We didn't go to the park and play, or actually just sit and have very much conversation, because I was busy providing all the things for them that they needed, and they really did need. I mean, you needed a house to live in. They needed clothes on their back. They needed food to eat. Those were things they needed, all right. But what I didn't realize is that I was giving them all the things that they needed, except maybe the one thing that they needed the most. That was myself. Let me encourage you. I want to impress upon you how important it is to spend time with your children. Your attention, your wisdom, your guidance, it's priceless. Now, I am so grateful that we serve a God of second chances, because God's given me a second chance. Not with my own children, of course. They're grown. But with my grandchildren. You see, I have 2 beautiful grandchildren from my youngest daughter and my son-in-law that live just a couple of miles from us. And they have been a huge part of my life since they were babies. I have been able to do things with them that I never, ever did with my own children. And God has taught me a lot through those kids. I realize how important relationships are. And you build relationships by spending time.